Greetings, YouTube. So I read something recently on a forum that got me thinking about transhumanism and the Star Trek universe. So I'm going to read the passage to you. It's rather enlightening about the transhumanist genre to think that the United Federation of Planets from Star Trek would be seen as the bad guys by large sections of the Eclipse Phase populace. Eclipse Phase is a inherently transhumanist role-playing game. Due to their oppressive bioconservatism, not allowing people to back up their egos so they can be brought back from the death and keep living indefinitely. That'd be like people nowadays seeing a religious state banning a life-saving medical treatment on theological grounds. I'd have to agree. To get the best summary of the transhumanism for someone not familiar with the genre, I like to paraphrase the slogan of Eclipse Phase itself. The mind is software. Program it. The body is hardware. Upgrade it. Death is a disease. Cure it. Human is a limitation. Surpass it. Transhumanism is sci-fi with the social safety wheels taken off. How many times does a show like Star Trek show some groundbreaking technology that would change everything, only for it to be shown that it has some inherent flaw that requires it never to be used? This happens because introducing that tech on a large scale would change the setting to the point that the inhabitants no longer resemble modern-day humans with better toys. In transhumanist sci-fi, they let the tech work and they change the setting to fit that. After all, why shouldn't replicators work on humans? Why wouldn't it be possible to save the transporter patterns for someone and then revert a dead or dying person to the last version when they were beamed through instead of the state they left in? I love the ST universe, but as the poster says, the bioconservatism is rather toxic. That last comment is mine. Now, I do like the Star Trek universe. I love the idea of a post-consumer, post-capitalist universe. Capitalism still exists in the Star Trek universe, but it's on a very limited and controlled manner. The base state of living, the safe social safety net would not let anyone fall below, is better than anything we have for a standard of living in this world now, and that's as it should be. The standard of living should be such that the individual thrives, not merely survives. And that's what the Star Trek universe has going for it. What it has going against it is the conservatism, the bioconservatism, the idea that the machinery should not touch us, that we are inviolate. I mean, they had an entire war in the Star Trek universe about cloning and about genetic modification. Why? I am a transhumanist. I want to see us surpass our limitations. These help me surpass my limitations. Yes, they are on the outside of my body, but we have surgery that would let us do that. I have not undergone it because I consider it to be too risky, and having undergone laser surgery for something else, I know how painful it is. So I would like to avoid that. There may be a point in my future where it is not worth my effort to forego that pain, and when these will no longer do the job, and then I'll undergo it. But there aren't many other modification style procedures like that in the modern era. I will live to see some of them. I will probably be too old to have any of them done on me. As I get older, you get worse and worse at recovering from disease. From injury, I should say. Or disease. But I am comfortable knowing that in the 22nd century, if we can make it out of the 21st, transhumanism will become the norm. And that the people who don't have themselves changed on some level will be viewed much the same way modern people view the Amish. There will always be some people that don't change. Cool. I guess it's important to have a reserve in some contexts. But why should the rest of us suffer? Because some people want to be purists. It's like, why should we expect minority groups to suffer at the hands of the majority? Minorities should not suffer at the tyranny of the majority, and I see that writ large in transhumanism. It says that we can overcome anything and everything if we just try. And the Star Trek universe is not about that. Star Trek universe is all about conservatism. Now, it has lots of problems in it. Don't get me wrong. The whole idea of time travel and eventually have a branch of the Federation that does nothing but fix time travel problems. I don't know why they ever introduced the idea of time travel. They could have saved themselves so many headaches and written out so many silly ass things. We can just throw in the occasional alternate universe if you want, fine. But time travel itself in the main timeline should never have been allowed. That was a mistake on Roddenberry's part, and it was a mistake that they've perpetrated it further in other of the series. But I want people to tell me, what do you think of transhumanism? What do you think of the bioconservatism that is so prevalent in the Star Trek universe? Do you think that there could ever be a reconciliation? Or is transhumanism something that will always be viewed as alien and will always be at odds with the Star Trek universe? And can you see a transhumanist future that is also past capitalism, past the post-scarcity? Can you see that? Because, I like the idea.